places with television or most anything. People talking, several
Of course,
people.
it's really quiet. It's really quiet in here today, so, it's usually more noisy than this.
Does it echo? Does it echo when we talk? Kind of?
Now just give her hand over it. Pearl's a little bit of a grouch today.
She is.
She normally isn't. She's been pretty good, but she's kind of grouched today. I don't know why, but she is. She doesn't.
Did you ever see any black bears?
What'd she sing?
Have you ever seen any black bears? Ever see a black bear?
Only in pictures.
Have you ever seen a moose?
No, where would I see them?
I have seen all that, so I figured that you have seen them.
Well, nothing but pictures.
I have seen all them things, and I've seen lots of elks, moose. I have not seen a white mountain goat, though. I've never seen that except in the movie. I never got to see, I don't think, mountain goats.
Well, of the Blanches in Wisconsin, there was black bears in the woods up there. But I didn't go in the woods. They had
You wouldn't want to do.
they had a cottage way up somewhere in the woods there. They'd go up there for a vacation, and they weren't afraid of them.
They weren't.
They didn't take after them or anything.
People weren't afraid of them now?
Yes, not.
Oh, really? Now, that's the way it was way back, too.
Uh-huh.
In Yellowstone.
Well, they'd go out and pick berries when those bears.
Yeah.
We'd see a bear or two.
We was out of the cars and everything out in Yellowstone. I think we were. Maybe we didn't get out of the car, but we were feeding them out of the cars. And now if I'd see a bear, or if I'd go out and see a bear now, I would take a big fast run. And probably fall down and scream and carry on.
Well, Norman was in Alaska and they have big brown bears there.
Huh.
Monstrous big ones, I guess.
Yeah, we want to go to Alaska this summer.
You are?
We're going to go to Alaska this summer.
You are?
How are you coming out here and Mary coming out there and you're now talking about going to Alaska?
Well, not for the whole summer.
Just for a month.
Woo!
Maybe when we go there, we can see some brown bears.
Why, you don't see the brown ones?
Hope so.
You have never seen brown ones?
Not up in Alaska. I've never been up there. I've only seen grizzly bears.
So the brown bears don't live in Montana or?
This grizzly and black.
Well, I didn't know that.
And actually, a brown bear can be any bear.
Is a brown bear meaner than a black bear? Or a blonde one? You said they was blondes, which I didn't believe. I've never seen a blonde bear. I just wouldn't.
Well, Norman said those moose were real tame. If you go up and pet them on the nose.
Well, I have been very daring. I was very daring to the moose. Everybody was pretty astonished how I would get as far as from here to the wall, that close to a moose. People thought I was terrible.
They don't go after you like a bear.
I'd get on the bus and get my camera.
Sometimes when they have babies with them, they'll attack you. But
That would be when they could be mean, when they've got babies.
I don't think Alaska has, since 1942, I don't think Alaska has grown much, has it?
No.
Not like they thought it would.
Yeah.
After they had that highway to Alaska, and then everybody went up and took a look at it
Well, it's too cold, isn't
from
it?
here.
southern Alaska isn't.
Isn't that why? It's just too cold to live there. It's just too cold to live in Alaska. Isn't that partially it?
Well, I don't know how cold it
People
is.
don't want to go there and live.
I suppose it does.
Well, there isn't any daylight.
That's where the Eskimos live.
There isn't any daylight. When isn't there not daylight?
In the summer, it's daylight all day.
Huh?
The sun never sets in the summer there. It's up all day.
24 hours a day?
Yeah, winter's totally dark all winter.
But you know, that would be very terrible.
Wouldn't it be fun though in the summer? You'd stay up all night.
How would people be able to sleep? Hey, wouldn't I have some time, Mary? I have some time to be sleeping. That would be terrible.
They grow big cabbages there, big heads of lettuce because the sun shines all day. They have big
So,
gardens.
how many months do they have summer that they can grow?
3 months. About 2.5, I think.
Well, like in our area, things grow in June, July, and August. The same thing. That's what we have for growing, right?
Yeah. In Alaska, they just get big,
Pumpkins.
yeah, pumpkins about this
Well,
big. They have sun, and sun that lasts,
Well, it takes a lot of rain too.
yeah.
They probably don't have snakes up there.
She hates snakes.
Oh, there's some, but no poisonous ones that I know of.
Too cold.
Yeah.
Well, that'd be one good thing about Alaska, there wouldn't be no snakes.
Yeah.
That'd be great. I hate snakes.
Are there that many around snakes here? Are there
Oh,
snakes
well,
here?
yeah, lots of them, mostly in the fall. But about every state there are some. Up here in the lakes around in Indiana, they're not big ones like they have out in Arizona. But they kill you anyway.
Yeah, rattlesnakes, huh?
Moccasins, I guess, are dangerous.
Do they have those here? Rattlesnakes? Here? Do they have rattlesnakes?
A lot of them.
Do they?
Where you live, Montana, the snake there.
Yeah.
They have them in California, because I know a guy that went up the mountain, went up to one of the mountains,
They're in the mountains most of
and
them.
this kid went out and he shot one. We only were living, we were only staying like 3-4 miles.
Really?
I would never walk out in that mountain if I thought I was gonna come across a rattlesnake.
Well, some people up here at the lake had a baby in a playpen out in the yard,
Oh, really?
and
Was that,
they found it dead.
was that around here, or is that?
No, and up here on those lakes up there.
Yeah, that was probably a water moccasin.
It's been a
That-
snake
that
crawled in the
too.
pen and bit it, and
Oh,
they
really?
determined that that's what had killed it, it had a bite on it.
Oh, that'd be
Yeah, I
terrible.
don't imagine a garter snake and there's different kinds of, I think, snakes in this country that, besides rattlesnakes, that can kill. I hate snakes.
In Montana, they catch snakes and then they eat them.
They eat them.
Mom would like to have
They
a
can
snake.
them and eat them.
Wouldn't that be gross?
Tastes just like
I
chicken.
would not.
Good, just like fish.
I would not eat a snake if I was dying.
Who told you?
This thing on me.
Yeah. Who told you it was good?
Fern.
Who told you the snake was good to eat?
I can't think of what you
Is a snake good to eat? I mean, have you eaten one? A snake?
I don't think I'd want to eat one,
Somebody told her it was good, though.
but they just taste like fish, I guess, quite a bit.
Huh.
Who do you know that had snake?
Pardon?
Who told you snake tasted good?
There's something about this that I just can't make it out.
You saying about that trip that we saw the other night at the
What, we
film?
went to Washington?
About the trip, that we went on to Boston and to Detroit. And
Yeah, Mom, you can probably think back, about that trip, that we took, with Dad and you, and that was up to Niagara Falls. You remember that?
Yes, I remember.
Yeah, we were trying to think back, about when that was.
Maine.
Well, wasn't that 1967 or not? Was that about when that was, in 67?
Well, I don't know.
Because
I hear it was.
Because Kim was how old then? Can you remember that? How old she was?
I know.
She was about 8, wasn't she?
Mm-hmm.
And then we went to Niagara Falls, and can you think where else we went after we left Niagara Falls?
July, I think it was.
Yeah, but then we went up to Niagara Falls. You remember that? To Niagara Falls?
Oh, yeah, we did.
And then where at? We went where at from there?
Yeah. New York.
Yeah, and then, New York.
But
We're around there.
What was that like? Was it,
It wasn't too wild up in there, I didn't think. It's a lot rockier over in Wisconsin than it was out in the east. This looks like a mountain that fell over or something.
see the ocean?
It's just close to the Mississippi on the north side where my sister lived in Wisconsin.
You guys see the ocean, did you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jim was saying about that, the fires in Detroit, that Grandma didn't want to go through Detroit because
Oh.
remember Detroit?
Detroit?
The fires?
do you remember fires?
Did you remember that when there was the Negro riots and all that going on, and we were kind of afraid to leave home and go through Detroit because of the riots?
Oh,
You remember that?
Yeah, we did though.
We did, and we went under a big tunnel.
Mm,
Remember that tunnel we went through in Detroit?
yeah. That's about all I can remember.
Well, I remember all the cattle in Vermont. Remember that? All the cattle?
Mm-hmm.
They were Holsteins, weren't they?
Not in Detroit.
No, but in Vermont, we seen.
Oh yes, that's a great country for cattle up there. I mean Wisconsin, Maine, or wherever we went.
Wherever it was.
Well, we went to Wisconsin, or was that Mary and Lynn?
That was Mary.
Mary and Lynn went up there.
Yeah, you went to Wisconsin once,
Mm-hmm.
You've been there more than once.
You know, I haven't been further west than Mississippi though. Only in Minnesota when we went up to Wisconsin. You can go on either side of it.
Do you like it up there?
Too many, anything but rocks around where they live. Looked like there'd been an earthquake and tore a mountain apart or something. Oh, they thought, people that live in western states, so they like it. It's dull down here and flat. They don't like it.
Well, but look at all the corn and the beans and all them things. We do have crops that grow.
Their kids used to come down here to visit when they were small. They thought it was the dullest place they ever saw. No water or anything around.
Yeah, I kind of miss it.
And swimming pools is about all we had down here.
Movies?
Well, you can get tired of seeing nothing but rocks. You know, you kind of like to see where, horses, you know, are, what do you call it?
Yeah.
Grazing.
Grazing.
And
Yeah,
I
my
like
sister
that.
lived, you had to look way up to the house across the street. Way up there, and they were way down here. There's a big river there too, the Wisconsin River.
Did your sister have cows? Did your sister have cows?
My sister, she's been dead quite a while.
Has she?
Oh dear.
She died about, it's been 5 or 6 years ago. I have cousins in, one in Washington. I never hear from him.
I thought also.
He was in the picture show, and my sister lived in St. Croix, and they had their early movie,
Oh, yeah.
black and white.
The old time movies with the
They played the
wording.
piano for music, They're funny old movies. You don't see them back that far, I don't believe, no.
No.
Certain channels place those old shows, yeah.
Yeah, you can see some of them.
Nothing like the good old days. I can tell I'm getting old. I talk about the old days too, Mom.
I even talk about the old days.
I had a question.
They're really old.
Well, I tell ya, I'm not quite as old as you are, but
Well, I wasn't young anymore when I went up there.
how old was you when you went up there the last time?
There weren't many kids around in my house.
Well, but you was what, near 70 when you went up there the last time to see your sister? Wasn't you near 70 or?
I mean, our kids were all gone.
Oh, that's what I mean, your kids were all gone.
I never went any place when I had a house full of kids.
I don't either, I don't go nowhere either, and my kids are still with me.
I always knew where they were and where they were going, but these days you don't.
Yeah.
I've been reading terrible things in that magazine about the teenagers these
I
years.
know,
They're going wild or mad or something.
there's no parents who guide them, and
Drugs.
parents are not helping like they should. They think that the schools and that can help them, and they can't. Parents no longer have control.
Yeah.
Sometimes I wonder if I do. I don't understand this thing. This could be embarrassing.
What were you gonna ask?
Oh, I was gonna ask her if she thought Mom and Martha were old.
Yeah. Don't you think I'm pretty old though, really? Mary and I are pretty old.
No,
You know, don't you consider us as being,
I don't think.
getting over the hill more and more? I can never forget it after our over the hill party.
I don't hear them complaining about it though. I don't hear you complaining about being 50 anymore.
I had to sign a card at the YW, and I had to sign my age on this card. On my YW membership, I had to sign 50. I nearly cried. I was almost in tears.
They had a lot. Yeah, their brothers got tired of hearing her complain about going into 50. They all got together and had a big surprise.
I think they heard about it.
They did.
I think they heard it, these two heard about it. I come in this house and you know, I was just coming home like I normally do to look at a bunch of messes in my house.
They hit all the cars.
There's all these people, but all these banners, you know, over the hill, you know, crepe paper everywhere, pictures to remind me that what age I was.
I don't think they'll do it again.
No, I don't have to worry about it, do we?
No.
75.
Yeah, 75.
We won't have no more.
100.
Well,
You'll party when you're
I
100.
won't be here.
Yeah, you will.
I won't be here when I'm your age.
Oh,
I won't live as old as you. You look
well,
real,
you don't want to live.
but you look real good for your age.
No sense in living this old.
Well, you can, you know,
I can't see any sense in it.
well, you can still give that smile for others.
I can't do
You
it.
can still give a smile toward other people. That's why you're here too.
Well, her grandma's young yet, isn't she?
She's 71.
That's young.
She is young.
Same age as Isabel then.
Isabel has a birthday. When is her birthday? Today?
Tomorrow.
Oh,
The 21st.
21st is
Marvin's
today.
was the 19th.
Whose is the 19th?
Norman's, the one that was killed in Alaska.
Uh-huh. So Isabel is 71 tomorrow, right?
Yeah, he got acquainted with them a fellow, he was in the war 2 years, Second World War. He got acquainted with somebody that was getting ready to move to Alaska with his family, and got him talked into going with him and helping him way up there in the woods someplace. They were going to build a new home. They did, they had it started, but he had tools in the box, and he'd never carried a gun or anything, but he had this on account of these bears up there, brown bears. You never knew when you were going to run into one of them, and he stooped over in that tooth to get tools out of that box and shot.
He shot himself?
Killed him dead.
The gun went off and shot him.
But he buried in Glenwood. I think he was, how old was he? I don't know.
He was
remember how old.
He was
He'd be
close.
68 now.
Well,
What year was it?
I don't have any young kids anymore. They're the youngest. 52, Carl's 52. I think I had 4 in the wars. You escaped all the wars, didn't you?
Yeah.
I hope they don't start any up.
Yeah.
that's what's made her so strong.
The war?
I think it toughens a person when they got their sons, in war. That toughens a family. We need things like that now to wipe up some of these problems.
No, we don't need another war.
I want to see my kids go to war, but that,
No.
no.
It'd be terrible. What could they fight about that they already haven't fought about?
I don't know, but the wars is something that kept a lot of the young men, a lot of the men that are now older are very tough. I'm talking about the wars way back. They have made a lot of families tough.
Well, how about the First World War?
What was that like? What was that like? World War I?
Well, made things bad for the United States. A lot of them got killed, and none of them were in the First World War. They just hit the second one.
Chris Paul, and then Paul was in the Second World War, and then
He was in 3 years.
and then Bill, wasn't Bill also in the second?
Mm-hmm.
Who else?
Well, Carl took 2 years, but he didn't go overseas anywhere.
But,
He's a Marine.
but wasn't Norman also in the World War II?
Yeah.
I thought you had 3.
One of the islands over there. Paul was in the Aleutian Islands off the coast of Alaska for a long time. There was nothing there but a pile of rocks, but the Japs had been there. That they all left when they got there, but he was sent east in some island too, but they all escaped being killed.
Where's the Aleutian Islands? Where are they at? The Aleutian Islands, where are they at?
Oh, somewhere from Alaska.
Are they?
They're east of Alaska.
I didn't know.
He was in Alaska and he said that snowing out there and it was just like flour.
Oh. That's weird.
The Depression. The Depression order. Remember that?
Yeah, I guess, Mary and I was born during the Depression, so what was that like?
And that was a climax.
You mean when Mary and I was born, or the Depression? Which was worse, when Mary and I was born, or the Depression? Which was worse, when Mary and I was born, or the Depression?
I think things began to go, FDR started straightening things out after Roosevelt.
Yeah, who was that?
You remember the Roosevelt? Franklin D. Roosevelt?
Yeah, I remember
He was a
that.
wonderful man. He put people to work back here. Things were really tough.
I used to hear my dad.
In fact, I believe we're having a depression now, aren't we?
Oh, I don't know.
Don't your grandma think it's one?
The farmers are in a depression.
Yes.
I'm in a depressed.
A lot of other factory people are too.
This stuff out.
They can't find jobs.
Did you guys farm in the Depression? Did you farm
Oh, yeah.
in the Depression?
They had it the toughest as usual.
Yeah.
But in Red Work, factories were shut down too. A lot of them were.
When did it get better? When did it get better after the Depression?
Just not too many years ago, things were good on the farm, weren't they?
Really?
3 or 4 years ago, things were booming on the farm, but just overdid it, you know, with buying all this big machinery and stuff. And now they say that Kansas, Nebraska's got caves full of grain that they can't get rid of. You haven't got time to read about depressions, have you?
No.
Not really. You don't.
Yeah, things aren't good around here, I guess, but I haven't heard of anybody starving to death or anything. Nobody did.
There's always food.
Well, you can go to areas to get food in this country if you don't have it yourself.
Well, it wasn't so bad for farmers then. They practically lived off of the farm and what they raised and did, but now the farmers don't.
Yeah.
That's
Most of
why-
them don't even have a garden or chickens or anything.
That's the reason why in that one book, you know, you were reading about the Amish, and you read in there where the Amish is sometimes rich.
Yeah.
Well, in so many ways, I can see what they're talking about because they raise everything of their own.
Mm-hmm.
They go out and buy fabric,
Yeah,
and then
they don't have refrigerators or anything. They probably would.
Go ahead.
I don't believe he'd like it. It's not beer or anything like that.
They wouldn't dare to serve anything like that here. They wouldn't dare to, would they?
You know, Carl and Dave brought us a bottle of wine.
When? When?
I was like,
Oh no. Oh, here comes Mr. Hoover. Hi. Feel sorry for him.
well, she wouldn't open it up.
Pearl?
Mm-mm.
You mean Dave brought that here the other day?
Carl and Dave both
Oh,
together,
they brought wine for you?
and Pearl.
Oh my.
Does it Pearl drink?
Well, it was real mild stuff. It's something you don't get drunk on. But I didn't want her to open it up because there's somebody coming in that room every little bit and they think we're drinking.
I'm very surprised that they would do that.
Yeah, I made them take it back.
Yeah, you're right. I would too.
Oh, it would have been fun.
We should have all been there to been served. If we would have all been there, Jim would have really liked it.
He would.
Yes. Jim would have liked it.
You would?
Well, it was very mild kind.
Oh, yeah.
Probably would have tasted good.
Carl used to bring me one for Christmas. A bottle of it.
Well, I know
I don't know what
it
this stuff is.
can sometimes, I guess, help your aches and pains. I know one time I drank whiskey when I was very, very sick.
You ever taste any?
It was horrible. Yeah, I did. I was sick.
That's kind isn't that they brought.
We're wondering how Paul is today. And John, have you heard how they are? Have you heard how John and Paul are
Well,
doing?
that was here Sunday.
Well, I haven't seen Paul for a couple of weeks, and,
Well, you know, they were all at Carl's Saturday night
oh, you think Paul?
having these cabbage sandwiches.
That sounds awful.
Oh, they were wonderful.
Well, how did you know?
They brought two of them up here.
Oh, they did.
They heated them in the microwave oven. Well, they were wonderful.
I wouldn't like cabbage.
You'd see them, you'd eat one, you'd like it. You can't tell when there's any
Can't you
cabbage in
tell
it.
it? Wow. So they was all over to Carl's then on Sunday night.
They're made with homemade bread and when it's hot, they're just wonderful.
Have you guys ever had them? Cabbage rolls?
I like those stuffed
I
carrots.
don't know what she's talking about, but
Dave makes this dough with his own hands, bread dough.
I hope he washes his hands.
And he must cut them out with a cookie cutter or something. And this stuff inside don't taste like cabbage, but it makes it real moist, you know, and they're really good.
Oh, I see how he does it.
Pearl and I had one apiece for dinner.
So what else is in the bread and along with the cabbage? What else is in there?
Is there meat?
Is there,
I suppose it's hamburger.
is that all then? Just
Well, if there
spices?
was any mustard or ketchup in them, I didn't taste it.
There's probably spices.
It's the bread that makes them good.
Oh, the bread, well, they should have brought me one. I should have been there to try it.
I think you'd take the inside out and just eat the bread.
Yeah, I imagine I'd like that.
Hot homemade bread's really good.
It is.
Did your grandma bake bread yet?
No, I don't know if she does or not.
She don't make.
Andrea does.
Do you make homemade bread? Great.
I love it. I can't quit eating it when I make it.
It's wonderful, isn't it?
Oh,
You have to have willpower, I guess.
yeah. Do you ever make bread?
Mm-hmm.
Takes a long time.
Lots
to
of
make,
time.
yeah.
I make a potato rust bread. That's a real good one. You can leave it overnight and make the rolls in the morning. You ice them with a butter icing.
That sounds good right now. I would like to put peanut butter on it
Oh,
right after it comes out of the oven.
He has peanut butter and everything.
oh, peanut butter gives you a lot of strength,
Protein.
good nourishment.
Kevin, you don't like peanut butter, do you?
Yeah, I like it real.
Yeah,
I like it and everything else. I like it by itself.
He likes to take a spoon and he'll eat peanut butter that way.
She puts peanut butter on everything. I don't like it on nothing but just bread.
Peanut butter is very good on carrots.
Carrots?
Uh-huh.
Celery too.
Yeah, celery.
At nursery school, we sometimes will have peanut butter on the carrots. And it does taste good. Unbelievable. Try it.
I probably like
Peanut
it.
butter is good on carrots.
I'll start serving that now. Wonder if your grandma would eat it.
Well, the only thing is, if she's got throat esophagus trouble.
Bless you. I see some blue sky out there. So maybe some sun will shine. Blue sky.
Is that thing on?
How long can you visit or?
It don't matter.
Sorry.
I'm gonna be going pretty soon too, because
Yeah, same here.
I don't know what time of day it is.
Did you move this table out here?
I don't, no, he did, but he can put it back. Don't worry about it.
I think the floor is crooked.
You know what? I think I noticed it too.
Well, my table out in the dining room is like that.
Is it?
I'm lightheaded all the time. I think things
Just like those. Four people have to eat around that. I don't believe they're any bigger than these.
Is the food good here? Do you like the food they make?
Not much.
You like it during the week though, isn't it better? Except for the weekends?
Sometimes it's pretty good. We have hot dogs and sauerkraut sometimes.
I like that. That's good.
Well, it does beat some of the restaurants, so you have to say that. Some of the restaurants don't have good food either.
No.
But their food is more home cooked. I do know that here. It's
Do you
more.
want me to throw that away?
Oh, there's a wastebasket right over there.
Okay.
But they have better food here than they do in a lot of nursing homes. I know that. So, there's always worse. There's always worse, right?
Oh, I don't mind it. I eat it better than some of them do.
But she eats so much.
That's good.
She's got a really good appetite now.
I eat it better. You would starve to death here.
I'll have to live with my kids whenever I get old, because if I come here, I'd probably die of starvation.
They don't eat anything that they should.
Maybe I'll learn to eat snake and things like that when I get older. Deer meat, pheasant. Would you guys like to have some pheasants?
You eat deer meat out there?
Yeah.
Did you have it done up and frozen?
Yep.
Is it good?
It's delicious.
Andrew knows how to make it real well. That and elk and antelope.
Do you ever eat moose?
I've never tried it.
You ever eat bear meat?
Yeah. It was mixed. It was a lasagna made out of bear meat.
Was it good?
I couldn't taste it. It tasted like hamburger.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
A bear?
I'd like to try it sometime. I've heard it was really good.
How about goat?
I've had that and it's delicious.
My, they had all kinds of meat, all different kinds of wild meat to eat. Isn't that interesting?
Well, people here used to eat rabbits, but not anymore. They have this disease,
Oh,
and they quit eating them.
yeah.
In fact, you don't see a rabbit anywhere.
I never see a rabbit.
They say they're all in Van Wert eating up their lettuce.
I don't never see a rabbit.
You never see a
I
rabbit?
never see one hardly.
No, there used to be thick around
I
them.
see lots of pheasants. I don't mean pheasants, but squirrels.
There's a few squirrels there's squirrels around them.
I never see a pheasant.
Do you eat raccoon or squirrel?
Squirrels are good to eat, they really are, but maybe they're diseased too, I don't know.
There's Pearl.
Is she going into supper already?
I don't know what she's up to. She's probably gonna go visit. She's probably gonna go visit
She
somebody.
visits everybody here.
She knows people on over.
She knows them. I never talk to anybody because I don't know whether they're sane or insane. Just a few of them I know. She's one of them, her name's
Yeah, they say that over half of the people's minds are not too good. A little bit over half. About 25 or 30 people here, their minds aren't good.
How many people are here?
50.
There's 50.
The beds are always filled up.
Are they?
When one, goes home or something, that bed's always filled back up. What time you got? Anybody know? I should be gone.
Let's see what time it is.
I know, Caroline.
3 o'clock. We should be
Yeah,
going soon.
I gotta be going too.
Go home and eat lasagna.
This time of the day at 3 o'clock.
We'll probably 4 o'clock.
Haven't you had
That's your
your,
supper.
haven't you had your dinner?
Yeah.
Yes.
They eat at 5
Did they eat
here.
early?
Yeah, Glenna, she makes dinner at 4 o'clock?
Having lasagna tonight.
Lasagna, yeah.
She must be some lady.
She likes to cook. Our Sherry gets off from school.
So Sherry gets off there?
Yeah, and then she'll come over and eat at her grandma's.
Uh-huh. So how often does Carol, get them?
I don't know.
For half the year.
Uh-huh. So she
She gets them,
goes,
like during the weekdays and every other weekend, I think.
They share, you know.
Yeah, half the year Ellen gets
so,
to see Ellen's house half the year.
so it's not that she don't see him and sick for 6 months?
No,
Not that
she
deal?
visits them on the weekends and stuff. So
Uh-huh.
she goes over to Carol's.
I don't see her anymore. I did see her for a while, I don't see her.
I don't know what she's doing. I just met her here recently, finally.
Oh, really? She comes over to the house?
She comes over and picks Sherry up at
Take a
Glennis.
Glennis?
Yeah.
But that'd be hard.
Yeah.
We seen Alan in a restaurant in Fort Wayne about last summer, up at Long John Silver.
Huh.
We seen him one day. He came over, talked to us.
But those restaurants went out of business.
That one still is in, right there in New Haven, still
Oh,
is.
so I thought those went out.
You know, they asked me, they're all just, foods that aren't very good for you. Grease, all that grease, and deep fried.
Tastes good though, doesn't it?
Deep fried stuff, and, that's one thing about here, I think they cook decent for you. They're not gonna give you a lot of greasy foods, and that's good, where other people like us,
Most of the time I don't know what it is.
we don't trim all that food, and everything.
Oh, we should probably be going to.
Yeah. But I'm gonna have to be getting home. I got groceries in the car and everything.
How long are you going to be around these parts?
Oh, about a week and a half.
You be busy?
Some. Not real busy though.
You were.
We were real busy.
Right.
You'll have a long trip back, won't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll have to watch out for snow.
That's for sure.
We just drive real slow.
You don't hear of people traveling in that direction in this time of the year, do you, by car? People might fly or something, but you
You
don't
don't hear it, but you see people on the road.
Well, that's interesting.